Welcome to our deep dive all about the Knowledge Metaverse.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at this book
Okay.
by Dan Lejerskar.
Uh-huh.
It's called The Knowledge Metaverse, and it's
Right.
really all about how XR and AI are going to
Yeah.
completely change how we
Yeah.
learn and work and even
Yeah.
think.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And his argument is
Yeah.
that we're right on the edge of this
Mhm.
intelligence explosion,
Yeah.
which is kind of a crazy thought.
I know, and what's really interesting is that he wrote this book back in 2021
Oh, wow.
before the whole
Like before ChatGPT?
yeah, but
Before all of that stuff?
AI really kind of hit the mainstream.
Yeah.
So his predictions are even more relevant now.
Totally. Yeah, like he was looking into the future.
Yeah.
So to kind of break down his vision,
Okay.
we're going to go through this deep dive. Like it's a Q&A with Lejerskar,
Oh, cool.
answering some of these
Ah.
big questions he talks about in the book.
Uh,
So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What exactly do we mean when we say
Yeah.
the knowledge metaverse?
So for Lejerskar,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about like putting on a VR headset and being like, oh, look, I'm in the metaverse.
Right.
It's about like this totally seamless fusion
Okay.
of XR technology
Yeah.
and the entire internet's knowledge base.
Oh.
So imagine
Yeah.
you could instantly access any information you need
Okay.
in this fully immersive,
Yeah.
interactive environment.
Like instead of reading about the Amazon rainforest,
Exactly.
you're like in it.
You're there. You can feel the humidity. You hear the sounds of the animals.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even encounter a jaguar virtually.
That's crazy.
It's a whole other level of learning.
Yeah, that's way more exciting than a textbook.
For sure.
So it sounds like Lejerskar thinks we're already moving towards this kind of immersive learning,
Yeah.
especially with all this new AI stuff.
Exactly. He sees things like ChatGPT
Mhm.
as like the first steps toward the knowledge metaverse.
Oh, wow.
They show us how AI can process and give us information in ways we couldn't even imagine before.
So it's not just about speed.
No.
It's like a completely different way of thinking about information.
Right. It's about AI being able to see patterns and connections that our
Mhm.
brains just aren't wired for.
That's kind of freaky,
That is a little mind-blowing.
but also really cool.
Yeah, totally.
So what was like Lejerskar's aha moment?
Well, that's a good question.
The thing that made him realize
Yeah.
this intelligence explosion could actually happen.
So it came from his work with XR
Okay.
and how it could be used to transfer knowledge.
Uh-huh.
He was working on this project
Oh, okay.
where they were training surgeons using VR simulations.
Whoa, that's cool.
And he noticed that the AI running these simulations
Yeah.
wasn't just copying human intelligence. It
Oh,
was
yeah?
actually surpassing it in some ways.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't just doing what a human could do. It was
like, for example,
yeah.
the AI could analyze thousands of surgical procedures. Yeah.
Find the best techniques
Okay.
and then create a personalized training program for each surgeon
Wow.
based on their strengths and weaknesses.
That's amazing.
Yeah, even the most experienced human instructor couldn't do that.
No way.
So pretty incredible.
So it's not just about speed.
Right.
It's about AI being able to understand information
Uh-huh.
in ways that our brains just can't.
It really makes you think about the potential of this intelligence explosion.
Yeah, it's starting to feel less like sci-fi
Yeah.
and more like something that's actually going to happen,
I think so too.
which is exciting but also kind of scary.
I know, right? But Lejerskar makes a really important point.
Okay, what's that?
He says we need to see AI as a partner,
Oh, okay.
not a threat.
Okay.
He thinks the future is about humans and machines working together.
So like collaborating,
Yeah.
not competing.
Each one making the other stronger.
I like that.
It's a more optimistic way to look at it.
Definitely. But
Yeah.
any powerful technology has its risks, for sure.
So how does Lejerskar address
Okay.
all the ethical concerns around AI?
Oh, he's very clear about that.
Okay, good.
He says ethics need to be built into the knowledge metaverse.
Like from the very beginning.
Yes, not just added on later as an afterthought.
So it's like a core principle,
Exactly.
not just a side note.
And he outlines 3 main principles
Okay, I'm listening.
to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
Okay, what's the first one?
Collaboration, not competition.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
Exactly. It means we need to design AI systems that work with humans,
Okay.
not against them.
So instead of being afraid of AI taking our jobs,
Uh-huh.
what if it could help us do our jobs better?
That's the idea.
So we could focus on the things
Yes.
that humans are really good at.
Like creativity.
Critical thinking,
Problem solving.
things like that.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's about using technology
Yeah.
to make us more human,
Not less.
not less.
That's good.
Okay, what about the second principle?
Yeah, what's number 2?
Lejerskar is a big believer in having clear ethical guidelines and regulations for AI.
Okay.
Kind of like Asimov's laws for robots.
Oh, interesting.
So that means we need to know how AI is making decisions.
Okay.
We need to protect people's privacy. And we need to prevent these powerful technologies from being used for bad things.
That makes sense, but it seems like a huge task.
It is.
How do you even start to create ethical guidelines for something as complex and fast-changing as AI?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Lejerskar thinks it's absolutely essential.
Okay.
He says we need a global effort involving governments and tech leaders and ethicists and everyday people.
Okay, so everyone needs to be involved.
Yeah, we need to have these tough conversations now before AI gets so powerful that we can't control it anymore.
It's like we need to set the rules of the game
Exactly.
before it's too late.
Before it gets out of hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so we've got collaboration, not competition, clear ethical guidelines.
Yeah.
What's the third principle?
What's number 3?
Education.
Education.
Lejerskar believes that knowledge is power.
Oh.
And that in a world that's increasingly shaped by AI, we need to make sure everyone understands how these technologies work, both the good and the bad, and how to use them ethically.
So it's not just about teaching people how to code.
No, it's about fostering a deeper understanding of AI and what it means for society.
So we need to be informed citizens, not just passive users.
We need to be able to think critically about AI and make informed decisions about how we want to use it.
That seems especially important in the knowledge metaverse.
Yeah.
Where AI will be so integrated into how we learn.
It's going to be everywhere.
So we need to be prepared.
We need to be savvy.
So we don't get manipulated.
Or left behind.
Exactly.
Lejerskar's vision is really about empowering people through knowledge.
I like that.
He believes that education is the key. Not just to personal success, but to a fairer and more just world.
That's a powerful idea.
And it's something that resonates throughout his book.
Now, there's this really bold statement that Lejerskar makes in the book.
Yeah.
He says that knowledge is a fundamental human right.
Right.
But in a world where access to education is so unequal, how can that be true?
It's a good question.
And how does the knowledge metaverse fit into this vision?
Okay, so Lejerskar knows that there are a lot of barriers to education today.
Yeah, like money, location, disability, even cultural norms. It's not a level playing field.
No, it's not.
But he thinks the knowledge metaverse could help break down some of these barriers.
So?
Wouldn't you need, like, expensive technology and super fast internet to be part of it?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Okay, good.
Lejerskar admits that ideally, everyone would have access to the latest XR devices.
And lightning fast internet?
Yeah.
But he knows that's not realistic right now.
Not for everyone.
Exactly.
So what's the solution?
That's why he's focusing on making the knowledge metaverse accessible through devices that people already have.
Oh, okay.
Like smartphones and tablets.
That's smart.
There are billions of people around the world who already have access to those.
That's a good point.
And the cool thing about XR is that it can create these incredibly immersive learning experiences, even on devices that aren't super powerful.
So you could have a kid in a remote village using a basic smartphone to dissect a virtual frog.
Exactly.
Or take a virtual field trip to the Great Wall of China.
It's pretty amazing.
That's incredible.
It's like bringing the world's knowledge to anyone, anywhere.
I love that.
But accessibility is just one part of the equation.
Okay, what's the other part?
Lejerskar believes that immersive learning is just way more effective than traditional methods like textbooks or lectures.
Why is that?
Because our brains are wired for experience.
Oh, okay.
Not just for passively absorbing information.
So it's about doing.
Yeah, learning by doing.
Not just reading.
Exactly. When you're in a virtual environment, your senses are engaged.
Okay.
You're interacting with the content. You're learning through action.
So it's like the difference between reading about ancient Rome and actually walking through the streets, hearing the sounds, maybe even bumping into a virtual Julius Caesar.
It's a whole other level of engagement.
Yeah, it makes learning come alive.
Exactly.
So can you give me some specific examples of how this immersive learning might work?
Let's say you're a medical student.
Okay.
And you're learning about a complex surgical procedure. Instead of just watching a video or reading about it in a textbook, You could actually perform the surgery in VR.
Whoa.
In a virtual operating room. That's amazing.
You could make mistakes and learn from them.
Oh, wow.
Without putting a real patient at risk.
That's incredible.
The AI could give you feedback in real time, guide you through the steps, point out potential problems, and help you build the skills and confidence you need.
So it's like having a virtual mentor.
Kind of, yeah.
That would totally change medical education.
Yeah, it would.
What about other fields?
Okay.
Could immersive learning be used in other areas?
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless.
Give me some examples.
Okay, let's say you're studying history.
Okay.
Instead of just reading about the American Revolution, you could be right there at the Boston Tea Party, experiencing the tension firsthand.
Okay.
Maybe even interacting with virtual historical figures.
Like talking to George Washington.
Yeah, why not?
That would be so cool.
Or if you're an engineering student, you could build and test virtual bridges.
Okay.
Experimenting with different designs and materials.
That's awesome.
Seeing how they hold up under stress.
It's like taking learning by doing to a whole new level.
Yeah, it really is.
But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
To actually implement this kind of immersive learning on a global scale, we'd need to make some massive changes.
For sure.
To our education systems.
Absolutely.
So how does Lejerskar see the future of education in this world, shaped by the Knowledge Metaverse?
He thinks traditional education models are going to change dramatically.
Like, what do you mean?
The idea of going to a physical school or university for a set number of years might become less important as people can access personalized on-demand learning.
So it's like the traditional classroom becomes just one option among many.
Exactly.
Not the only option.
He thinks universities will become more like facilitators, guiding people on their personalized learning journeys.
So they're not just delivering information anymore.
They're more like mentors, helping people figure out what they want to learn.
And how to achieve their goals.
That's a big shift.
But what about assessments and credentials?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How do you prove you've learned something in this new world of decentralized education?
Are degrees going to become obsolete?
He thinks traditional degrees and diplomas will become less important and be replaced by a system of micro-credentials.
Micro-credentials.
And skill-based certifications.
Okay, so it's about proving what you can actually do.
Yes.
Not just what courses you've taken.
It's about showing your skills.
Okay.
Not just your credentials.
I like that.
These micro-credentials could be stored digitally.
Okay.
So you could build a portfolio of your skills and experience.
That's cool.
That you could show to potential employers or collaborators.
So it's a much more flexible and adaptable system, which makes sense in a world where people are constantly learning.
Lejerskar believes that lifelong learning is going to be the norm in this new landscape.
With technology changing so fast, exactly, people are going to have to constantly update their skills.
And the Knowledge Metaverse will provide the platform for that.
Okay.
Offering personalized learning pathways.
So it's like the Knowledge Metaverse becomes this essential tool for navigating the future.
Exactly.
Which is full of challenges, but also incredible opportunities.
And what's even more exciting is that we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Really?
Lejerskar thinks the true potential of the Knowledge Metaverse lies in areas we haven't even imagined yet.
Oh, wow.
As technologies like XR and AI and even brain-computer interfaces keep evolving, the line between the physical and digital worlds is going to get blurrier and blurrier.
That's mind-blowing.
Opening up a whole new realm of possibilities.
For everything?
For everything.
That's incredible.
It is a bit overwhelming to think about,
It is.
but it's also incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, it makes you realize how much potential there is to create something truly amazing. But it also makes you think about the responsibility we have to make sure we use this technology wisely.
So we don't create more problems than we solve.
We need to be careful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to hear more about how Lejerskar thinks we can ensure the Knowledge Metaverse is a force for good in the world.
Yeah.
But first.
Yeah. So we were talking about how the Knowledge Metaverse could totally transform education.
Yeah, making it more immersive and personalized and accessible and all that.
Exactly. But, you know, Lejerskar's vision goes way beyond just education. He talks about this idea of human 2.0.
Human 2.0.
Yeah, suggesting that the Knowledge Metaverse could, like, fundamentally change what it means to be human.
Whoa. That's a pretty bold statement.
Right. It makes you think of like sci-fi movies.
Totally. Yeah. I'm picturing like humans with brain implants downloading information Like in the Matrix.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's not quite that dramatic. Okay. But he does imagine a future where technology is like seamlessly integrated into our lives, almost like an extension of ourselves.
Okay, so instead of having to like pull out our phones to look something up.
Exactly.
It's just like right there.
Yeah, like imagine walking into a room and having all the information you need just pop up on a virtual screen.
That would be amazing.
Or attending a meeting with people from all over the world, and it feels like you're all actually in the same room.
Even though you're not.
Even though you're miles apart.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it also makes you think about the potential downsides.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what if we become too reliant on technology?
What if we forget how to think for ourselves?
Right, or how to interact with each other in the real world.
Lejerskar talks about that, doesn't he?
He does. He's very aware of the risks.
Okay.
He actually uses this term, human 1.3.
Human 1.3?
What's that?
To describe where we are now.
Okay.
Like, always glued to our phones.
Constantly bombarded with information.
Feeling like we need to be connected all the time.
And he worries that the knowledge metaverse could just make those problems worse.
So it's not just about building the technology.
No.
It's about using it responsibly.
Yeah. Thinking about the impact it's going to have on us.
On our minds and our relationships and society as a whole.
It's a big responsibility.
It is.
Lejerskar thinks we need to prioritize human well-being alongside all this technological advancement.
So it's not about technology versus humanity.
It's about finding a balance.
Yeah, finding a way for technology to support our humanity.
Yeah, not replace it.
Not make us less human.
Exactly. He talks about the importance of digital literacy, critical thinking, a healthy skepticism towards technology.
So we don't just blindly accept everything it tells us.
We need to be able to question it.
To think for ourselves.
And he also talks about the importance of creating spaces for disconnection.
Like actually unplugging every now and then.
Taking a break from the screens.
Spending time in nature.
Connecting with people face to face.
Remembering what it feels like to be human.
Without all the technology.
That's really important.
It is. We need to remember that the knowledge metaverse is just a tool.
Yeah.
It's up to us to decide how we use it.
What kind of future we want to create with it.
Do we want to use it to connect with each other?
Yeah.
To learn and grow?
Yeah.
To solve problems?
Or do we want to let it control us?
Isolate us?
Make us less human?
It's a choice we have to make.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential of the knowledge metaverse and the risks we need to be aware of.
But what about the practical challenges?
Yeah, what are some of the hurdles we need to overcome?
To actually make this vision a reality. Well, Lejerskar identifies a few key challenges, both technological and societal.
Okay, let's start with the technological ones.
Okay, so on the technical side, building the infrastructure for a global, immersive, interactive network.
That sounds massive.
It's huge. We're talking about massive computing power, data storage, lightning-fast internet speeds.
And devices that everyone can access.
Yeah, it's a huge undertaking.
I can only imagine how much that would cost.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
Is Lejerskar optimistic about overcoming those hurdles?
He is, actually.
Okay.
He points to how fast technology has been advancing lately, especially in areas like cloud computing and AI and XR hardware.
So he thinks we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, he thinks with enough investment and collaboration, we can make it happen.
That's good to hear.
But even if we solve all the technical problems, there are still a lot of societal challenges.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about some of those.
Like the risk of digital addiction. And the importance of finding a balance between the online and offline worlds.
But what are some of the other societal hurdles that he talks about?
One of the biggest concerns is inequality.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
If only people who can afford the technology or who live in areas with good internet access
can be part of the knowledge metaverse,
then it could just create a new digital divide.
Yeah, making the gap between the haves and have-nots even wider.
Exactly.
And that would be a disaster.
Yeah, it would undermine the whole idea of the knowledge metaverse being a force for good.
So how do we prevent that from happening?
Well, Lejerskar is really passionate about this issue. He thinks we need policies and initiatives that promote digital inclusion.
So everyone has a chance to benefit.
Yeah, no matter where they live or how much money they have.
It's about making sure everyone has the opportunity to unlock their potential.
To be part of this new world.
Exactly.
What other societal challenges does he talk about?
Another big one is the need for new social norms and ethical frameworks.
For the knowledge metaverse?
Just like in the real world, we need rules and guidelines to make sure people interact respectfully.
Responsibly and safely.
So we don't create a virtual Wild West.
Yeah, exactly. We need to think about things like privacy, preventing harassment, making sure AI is used ethically and transparently.
It's almost like we're creating a whole new society.
It is a bit like that, isn't it?
With its own laws and customs and values.
And we need to do it right.
Yeah, we need to learn from the mistakes we've made in the past.
And build a better world.
A more just and equitable world.
Exactly. Lejerskar thinks we need to start having these conversations now.
Okay.
Before the knowledge metaverse becomes so big that it's too late to change course.
So we need to be proactive.
Yeah, we need to think about the long-term consequences.
Not just the immediate benefits.
He advocates for a collaborative approach.
Okay.
Bringing together educators and policymakers and tech developers.
And everyday people.
Yeah, everyone needs to be part of the conversation.
So it's not just up to the experts.
No, we all have a role to play.
It's pretty amazing to think about the power we have to shape this future.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting.
Yeah, but it's also incredibly empowering.
I think so, too.
Realize that we're not just passive observers.
We can actually make a difference.
Yeah, we can create a world where technology is used to enhance our lives and connect us in meaningful ways.
I think that's what Lejerskar is ultimately striving for.
He's a pretty inspiring guy.
He is. He's got this incredible vision for the future.
Yeah.
But he's also grounded in reality.
Wow.
He knows there are going to be challenges.
But he doesn't shy away from them.
He sees them as opportunity.
To learn and grow.
Exactly.
To make the world a better place.
So we've talked about the potential of the knowledge metaverse, the risks and challenges, but I'm curious to hear more about the personal experiences that have shaped Lejerskar's vision.
Yeah, he mentions in the book that his father had Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
And that it really impacted his thinking.
It had a profound impact on him.
Yeah.
Watching his father gradually lose his memory.
Oh, wow.
Struggling to remember even the simplest things.
That must have been heartbreaking.
It was incredibly painful for him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
But it also made him realize how important our cognitive abilities are.
Yeah.
How precious our memories are.
Our memories are like who we are.
Exactly.
They shape our identities.
And relationships.
Our whole lives.
And it made him realize how devastating it can be to lose them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did this experience influence his work?
It seems like a pretty personal connection.
It is. He realized that technology could play a crucial role in supporting cognitive health.
Like helping people with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, potentially even slowing down cognitive decline.
Oh, wow.
He saw the potential of XR to create these immersive experiences that could stimulate the brain.
Keep it active.
It engaged.
So it's not just about accessing information.
No.
It's about protecting our minds.
Yeah.
Strengthening our cognitive abilities.
Yeah. Preserving our memories.
That's beautiful.
It's a really profound application of technology.
Yeah, it's not just about entertainment or efficiency.
It's about something much deeper.
It's about who we are as human beings.
But of course, creating technologies that interact with the brain
raises a whole bunch of ethical questions.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried about that.
So how does Lejerskar address those concerns?
He knows it's a sensitive area.
Yeah.
He stresses the need for extreme caution and careful consideration of the potential consequences.
Those don't do more harm than good.
Exactly. He believes that any technology that interacts with the brain needs to be developed and used with the utmost respect for individual autonomy and privacy.
So people aren't being manipulated or controlled.
We need to make sure that never happens.
So it's about using this technology to empower people.
Yeah.
Not to limit their freedom.
Not to control their minds.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I'm also curious about the more practical side of things.
Yeah.
How does Lejerskar see the knowledge metaverse actually being used in people's everyday lives?
Can you give me some concrete examples?
Of course. Let's start with the workplace.
Okay.
Imagine, instead of sitting in a cubicle all day, you could collaborate with your colleagues in immersive virtual environments.
That would be amazing.
You could have brainstorming sessions, give presentations, even visit a virtual factory floor.
To see how things are made.
Yeah, it'd be like a whole new way of working.
So you get the flexibility of remote work, but also the energy and connection of being in person.
Exactly.
That's a great combination.
And because the Knowledge Metaverse breaks down geographical barriers, you could be working with people from all over the world.
Bringing together the best minds.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to think about.
It is, but it also makes me think about jobs.
Yeah.
Like if people can work from anywhere and collaborate with anyone, won't that lead to a lot of job displacement?
That's a valid concern. And Lejerskar doesn't deny that it's a possibility.
Okay.
He thinks the Knowledge Metaverse will probably lead to some job displacement.
Especially in areas where tasks can be automated.
Yeah, or done remotely.
So it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, but he also thinks it will create new opportunities.
Oh, okay.
Especially in fields like technology development, content creation,
virtual experience design,
things like that.
So it's not about jobs disappearing.
It's about jobs changing.
New jobs emerging.
And he emphasizes the importance of education and retraining to help people adapt to these changes.
Oh, we need to be prepared for this shift.
Yeah, we need to make sure people have the skills they need
to thrive in this new world.
And he believes the Knowledge Metaverse itself can be a powerful tool for that.
Oh, interesting.
Providing people with the knowledge and skills they need
to stay relevant in a rapidly changing job market.
Exactly.
This is so fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
It's amazing to think about how the Knowledge Metaverse could transform not just how we learn and work, but like the very fabric of our society.
Yeah, it makes you think about the future of everything.
Work, education, community, even human identity.
It's a truly transformative technology.
It really is.
But it's up to us to make sure it's a positive transformation.
Yeah, we have to be intentional about it.
Guided by ethical principles.
And a commitment to human well-being.
Exactly.
I'm really struck by how Lejerskar balances this incredible optimism.
Yeah.
This sense of possibility with a realistic understanding of the challenges ahead.
He's not naive.
No, but he's hopeful.
And he's inspiring others to be hopeful too.
He's clearly driven by a deep belief in human potential.
And a desire to use technology for good.
Speaking of personal motivations, I understand that Lejerskar recently became a father.
He did.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, it made me wonder what advice he would give his son.
That's a good question.
About navigating this future we've been talking about.
Yeah, like what would he tell his son when he's 24 years old?
Yeah, facing a world that's been reshaped by the Knowledge Metaverse.
I actually asked him that.
You did? What did he say?
And his response was really insightful.
Okay, I'm ready to hear it. I'm all ears. What kind of wisdom does he pass down?
Well, his advice is actually pretty down to earth.
Oh, okay.
You know, considering he's talking about this world where like the lines between physical and digital reality are kind of blurring.
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
Yeah, but he keeps it simple. He boils it down to three main things.
Okay, I like it. Simple and straightforward.
Yeah. So the first one is he tells his son to embrace lifelong learning.
Okay.
He says the world is changing so fast.
Faster than ever.
And the only way to keep up is to be like a perpetual student.
Always learning.
Always curious. Always open to new ideas.
I like that.
Yeah. Be sponge. Soak it all up.
So in this world that's constantly changing, the most important skill is adaptability.
Exactly. The ability to learn new things.
Unlearn old things.
And relearn things.
Yeah, it's like your brain has to be flexible.
And he emphasizes that learning isn't just about like memorizing facts.
Okay.
It's about developing critical thinking skills.
Oh, okay.
Being able to solve problems, think creatively, connect with other people.
So those are like the core skills.
Yeah, the skills that will always be valuable.
No matter what the future holds.
Exactly. No matter what jobs exist or what technologies we're using.
So it's about having the right mindset.
Yeah, a growth mindset.
A willingness to embrace change.
And see challenges as opportunities.
Okay, I love that. And what's the second piece of advice?
The second one is he tells his son to stay connected to his humanity.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah. In a world that's increasingly dominated by technology, it's easy to lose sight of what makes us human.
Yeah, we can get so caught up in the digital world that we forget about the real world.
He reminds his son that it's our relationships, our emotions, our ability to connect with each other that really give our lives meaning.
That's so true.
And he worries that as technology becomes more and more immersive, more engaging, it might become easier to retreat into a world of digital isolation.
Like to shut ourselves off from the real world.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing.
No, definitely not.
So he tells his son to make sure he stays grounded in the real world, to cultivate meaningful relationships, to do things that nourish his soul and spirit.
Like spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Making art.
Connecting with loved ones.
Things that remind us what it means to be human.
Exactly.
I love that. It's like he's saying, yes, explore the amazing possibilities of the knowledge metaverse. But don't forget to come back to reality every now and then.
Exactly. Don't lose yourself in the digital world.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
And his final piece of advice.
Yeah, what's number 3?
This one's really important. He tells his son to remember that technology is just a tool.
Okay.
It's up to us to decide how we use it.
We have the power.
Yeah, we get to choose what kind of future we want to create with it.
So it's not about technology controlling us.
It's about us controlling technology.
Using it for good.
Yeah, he encourages his son to be a force for positive change in the world.
That's a great message.
Yeah, it's a message that goes beyond just the knowledge metaverse.
It's about how we approach technology in general.
Exactly. We need to be thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
Responsible.
We need to think about the consequences
of our actions.
Yeah, and make sure we're using technology to make the world a better place.
I think that's a really powerful message.
It is, and it's a good reminder for all of us.
Yeah, not just for Lejerskar's son.
So Lejerskar's vision for the knowledge metaverse.
Yeah.
It's definitely ambitious. It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah. But it's also incredibly inspiring.
It's full of challenges.
But also full of hope.
And it really makes you think about the future.
What's possible.
Yeah, and what role we want to play in shaping that future.
We're not just passive passengers.
No, we have agency.
We can make choices.
We can create the world we want to live in.
It's a pretty powerful idea.
Well, it's been an incredible journey exploring the knowledge metaverse with you.
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Me too. And I think it's fitting to end with the question that Lejerskar poses in his book.
Okay, what's that?
What possibilities for learning, work, and life can you imagine in the knowledge metaverse?
That's a good question.
It is. It's a question that challenges us to dream big.
To think outside the box.
To imagine a world where anything is possible.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I encourage you to take that question with you.
Let it simmer in your mind.
Think about what amazing things you could learn or create or experience.
In a world where knowledge is limitless.
And the boundaries between the physical and digital worlds are blurred.
What kind of impact could you make?
Yeah, what kind of future do you want to build?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the knowledge metaverse.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.